In this video, I am going to convince you that all the life that exists today on planet Earth has evolved. Just to make it clear from the start, I am not going to deny the existence of a supernatural theory during this video. This video is intended to prove that natural selection is the main driving force of evolution. Therefore, every living species today is the result of simple, non-random processes, not the creation of a god. Charles Darwin published his book The Origin of Species in 1859, when he explained the first time in human history how natural and artificial selection can change the characteristics of a species. Artificial selection is the idea that animal and vegetal breeding from generation to generation will eventually end up in changing the characteristics of that animal or plant. This idea was well understood even in Darwin's time. People knew that dogs were obtained from wolves, that you can breed horses for power, endurance, or speed. Some people also understood that cabbages and other vegetables were artificially selected from wild plants. The problem arose when Darwin tried to explain that there is a similar selection process driven not by man, nor an intelligent being, but by nature alone. As well as farmers select some individuals from a horse population for power, endurance, or speed, nature selects individuals that are more likely to survive in an ever-changing environment. What Darwin and the farmers in his days did not understand was how these changes really occur. Later studies revealed that DNA is responsible for every single characteristics we inherit from our ancestors. DNA is composed of A's, C's, G's, and T's. Every DNA sequence has a role in our body. For example, this sequence could be the color of your skin. When we reproduce, DNA copies itself to form new cells. But there are cases when errors occur and the copy is not perfect. These errors are called genetic mutations. Most of the time, mutations are random, and most of them constitute a disadvantage to the affected individual. But there are also cases in which these mutations are beneficial and end up in changing the whole species, not only the affected individual. Let's take an example. Consider a population A composed by red-colored herbivore individuals. This population lives in the grass. There is a second B carnivore population, which feeds with individuals from population A. Every fifth generation, the newborns from category A will acquire mutations. 5% of these mutations will affect the color of the individual, and 10% of these mutations will make the individual to be green, not red. The ones born with a mutation which changes their color from red to green will have a better chance of survival on the grass, because they won't be seen and eaten by population B. Therefore, they will live more than the other members of their population, the red ones, and will reproduce more times during their life, producing more offspring. During more hundreds of generations, the dominant color amongst this population will become green. If we go through even more generations, we see an even more interesting thing. The population B will go extinct. I think there is no question why. Of course, in reality, population B will evolve too, and other things can happen resulting from the struggle to survive, like an evolutionary arms race, subject which I'm going to cover in another video. We saw how the favorable genetic mutations through natural selection determined species A to change its members' color. We say that species A adapted to the environment, or the green color grass, through evolution. Let's change the hypothesis a little bit. Let's suppose half of the initial red A population migrated in the desert, and the other half remained on the grass. The half on the grass will become green, the half on the sand will become yellow. Therefore, we'll be able to assert that there is no longer population A. Instead, there is a population green and a population yellow. People often ask, if we evolved from monkeys, why there are still monkeys today? Because we didn't evolve from monkeys. We and modern apes share a common ancestor. Some of them evolved into modern monkeys, some of them into humans. Chimps are our cousins, not ancestors. In my next video, I'll show you the evidence for evolution.